Okay, so I should probably talk about the Khabib and Conor fight, and of course everything that ensued after the fight. Well, I was crazy hyped for this fight. I was so looking forward to it. And to be honest, even though I know fighting after the bell is not a good look for the sport and everything, I sort of felt like what can you call it? Like it gave me a sensation of closure. Well, the fight happened probably like most had imagined it, except the overhand right when Habib dropped Conor. That was insane. I did not see that coming. Not the prettiest of punches, but it worked. I mean, it was he got clipped and he got dropped. I mean, I don't know whether he was rocked or not because he was pretty quick to be back on his feet and back in the fight. But yeah, anyways, I did not see that coming. Second round was complete domination, complete. My blood in blood out picture, it's still. I still didn't get it fixed, but I guess it's a perfect opportunity for a clip of the week.
Better keep the blankets over your head, pendejos. Your fluorescent skin don't keep me awake all night.
Yeah, so I was guessing that Habib would not want to finish McGregor by giving him the opportunity to tap. I mean, of course you can always tap to strikes, but he gave him an out by going for the rear naked choke. That was maybe more like a crank, like a pain submission at the moment when Conor tapped, at least. And then something happened. Apparently, Dylan Dennis had been talking shit to Habib throughout the entire fight. I don't know whether or not this is true because, as far as I know, there's no video of it. But according to fans, he had been like talking shit to him throughout the fight, calling him a Muslim rat and like other maybe not so. He had been talking to him in not so sensitive terms regarding his religion, and I know all about the freedom of speech and everything, and of course you should be able to say what you want, but I mean, what happened after the fight? Well, the fight ends. Habib addresses Dylan Dennis after probably listening to him talk shit for the entire fight in Connor's corner. He throws his mouthpiece at him. He starts getting closer to the fence. Some of the UFC officials are trying to hold him back. He breaks sort of free from them and he jumps the fence. He lands on the podium on the other side of the fence where the ring card girls walk, and from there he launches towards Dylan Dennis, like feet up and everything. You can see he didn't hit him, but it looked like he was trying to. He meant business. So he misses. He lands. Dylan Dennis throws a right hook, and they're separated. While all this is going on, Conor sees the altercation between Habib and his teammates. So he scales the fence, probably to go fight with his teammates. When he climbs the fence, another guy from Habib's corner climbs the fence. He's holding Habib's hat in his hand, so he's probably not going after Conor at that point. But while they're both on the fence, Conor swings at him, punches him in the face. They both go back down into the octagon. The guy that Conor punched is being held back by security, while a second guy attacks Conor. And while the second guy is attacking Conor, a third guy jumps the fence and enters the octagon and attacks Conor from behind. So Khabib won the fight by submission, 4th round. I don't know whether or not Khabib got to do all the things he wanted to do to Conor, or if he's satisfied with the win. Being as Conor tapped out, he didn't get a chance to like drag it out a bit more as he might have wanted to. I don't know whether or not that played a part in his frustration after the fight, feeling a need to keep fighting Conor's team, or if it was just Dylan Dennis's comments during the fight. Of course, this is a bad situation, and of course, this doesn't make the sport look good, and of course, everything that is obvious, and of course, there's so many obvious things wrong with this. But I mean, I get Khabib, I get why he did it, I get the rage, of course Conor's allowed to say whatever he wants, and he's allowed to promote the fight however he wants. But I mean, you have to understand that there are consequences to your actions. I mean, Conor talked about his family. He sided with a country that was in war with Khabib's country when Khabib was a child. He talked about them being weak and being cowards, and that they fled from the Russians. And I mean, I think that maybe Conor doesn't understand the weight of his words towards people from that type of place.
15 minutes in the books.
I mean, people who grew up with war, and countries that have been plagued by genocide and oppression. And I'm not saying that Conor should, or anybody should, be restricted in their trash talk, but Conor's team and the UFC need to be aware of the situation that they're creating. And to some extent, I guess they were, because they had like tons of extra security for this fight. So I mean, maybe they are aware of it, and maybe they did take it into consideration. But I mean, in my opinion, Khabib should not be cut or stripped, or they could maybe give him a fine, but no suspension, no. If the Nevada State Athletic Commission punishes Khabib, I get it. If it's true that they had the Nevada State governor running, I mean, I can see how that's a problem, and I get that the Athletic Commission needs to make an example, or like prove that they're not gonna tolerate it. But if the UFC punishes Khabib after all the shit that he put up with, and all the shit that Conor got away with, of all the stuff that Conor did, he was never ever punished for any of it. So Khabib does one thing that's even provoked by Conor and his team, and he should be punished. I mean, that is so hypocritical. That is so hypocritical. I get where Khabib's frustration is coming from. I mean, again, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I totally get that he did it, and I totally get the anger towards Conor. So apparently one of the guys that punched Conor was, as far as I know, was the guy who's supposed to fight Artem, who was supposed to fight Artem next. And apparently that fight has been cancelled. I don't know whether or not he's been cut or just being suspended. But yeah, he's definitely getting punished for his actions. Yeah, I guess all in all, I have to say, I don't know whether or not I'm wrong or right, but I gotta admit, I kind of enjoyed watching that. I mean, I was not sure whether or not Khabib was gonna win. I was like changing my mind every 5 minutes whether or not Conor was gonna be able to knock out Khabib. But it felt good watching Khabib do his thing, and I mean, I don't hold anything against Khabib for reacting the way he did after the fight. I mean, it's stupid, and he only fucked himself over. So I mean, he's the one who's gonna suffer. But I get it. To be honest, I totally get it. I read something on the underground that was really spot on. I don't remember the username of the guy, but I'll try and see if I can find it. I just copy pasted it. You have to remember that Western culture has little to no principles anymore. Some think you can say or do anything you want and everything is okay. Well, it's a big world out there, and some people have maintained their way of life and have strong principles and will not stand by while someone attacks them. Right or wrong, it is what it is, and this should not be a shock to anyone with a brain. The UFC has promoted this behavior for a long time now. It attracts the lowest common denominator, and seriously, we are to sit here in utter shock at this? Sorry, I'm not shocked in the slightest. This is blowback from the UFC promoting thuggish behavior and pandering to the bottom of the barrel market. I really couldn't agree more with the way it was put. I know this type of thing is not something to strive towards, and it sets us back a lot of hard work that people have put into this, and people like working in sanctioning bodies and like athletic commissions and stuff, people who love the sport and try to defend it. But shit, man, that was really satisfying. I don't even consider myself that much of a Conor hater, and what he's done is amazing, but shit, that was so satisfying to see that. So satisfying. So I guess I'm part of the lowest denominator and bottom of the barrel in that way, but yeah, shit, that was entertaining. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you want more, you can subscribe to this channel. If you just like this video, you can press like, you can share if you want other people to see it. And yeah, just thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and until next time. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Conor was grabbing the shorts, grabbing the gloves, grabbing the fence. He kneed Khabib in the head when they were on the ground, and it was not an accidental knee. Conor was on his back. He had plenty of time to understand and realize that the knee he was throwing was illegal. He must have known it was illegal. So I'm not saying Conor's not a great fighter, but that shit, man, that's not cool, and that's to me it would appear that he's not gonna have an easy a time in lightweight as he did in featherweight. I'm not even sure that he's going to be able to get the build back at lightweight, to be honest. And for him to fight like that, to cheat that way, no man, fuck him. It makes what happened after the fight even more satisfying.